the life a lot of people do not know. And I have chosen, Larry and myself have chosen to do this privately because Ferdina was always a private person. And this is why we are in a private setting. And if Ferdina would tell you, I am that person to throw a party that she will always come to and shake a leg. So tonight we're about to celebrate her life. And before we begin, we'd like to call on Pastor Matthew Ogis to lead us in prayer.
Pleasant good evening. We just ask us to stand just for a moment. Thank you so much. It's 8 p.m. every Monday evening. I will be greeted by Ferdina after the program. She'd say, Pastor Matthew, are you okay? So for me, this is much reminiscent. I want to read Psalms, a few verses, Psalms 55. David says, fearfulness, trembling have come upon me, and horror hath overwhelmed me. And I said, oh, that I had wings, like a dove, that I would fly away and be at rest. The ending of the verses in verse 16 said, but as for me, I will call upon God, and the Lord shall deliver me. Oh, Father, we want to give you thanks this evening, because you're so good to us. We thank you, Father, for life. Thank you for strength. We thank you for courage. And we know that you are wise, and there's nobody like you. And Father, when Job faced the circumstances of his life, and he even got to the point where he thought to himself, maybe he should not have been born. Job thought of many things, and he asked many questions. And Father, for 38 chapters, you said nothing. You said not a word. And then you spoke, not to answer the questions that Job had. But you spoke and you asked him some more questions. And you asked him, who stopped the waters? Who built the mountains? Who created the huge animals? And who caused and placed the boundaries of the seas so that they do not overtake the land space? And when he couldn't answer the questions, or he had no more answers, but the answer was you, Job said, I will take my hands and I will rest my hands on my mouth. And then you said to him, gird up your loins like a man. Father, today I thank you because you know everything about us. And today we give you thanks because you are in charge of everything that concerns us. So I thank you for celebrating the life of Ferdina today. You know the circumstances, Lord, that surround everything that we face in our lives. And today we are careful to give you praise because with you there is no rival and you have no equals. So we are careful to pause and bow before you. And I ask that your hands of mercy and grace, Father, would surround us and would comfort us the moments when we do grieve, the moments when we do face the circumstances that we do not have the answers for. And so today we take our hands and we place our hands on our mouth and we say like David, we will trust you and you will deliver us. In Jesus' mighty name. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Lucas. Thank you so much. Okay, we're going to move right into this since we are running late. We have a few speeches, tributes to Ferdina, and we're going to start with the person who played a very, very important role in Ferdina's life, who nurtured her, who wiped her tears, who took care of what we call her bobo, or her sores, and that's no other but her mom, Mrs. Joan Frampton.
Good evening, everyone. Okay, Ferdina, if one thing I can say, if Ferdina was still alive, to see Ferdina gone today. His princess, that was Ferdina's princess, he would pass through. And Ferdina was such a nice child. Ferdina has never once, no matter how I would correct her, to tell us tips or give me any meanness. Ferdina was a peacemaker among the children. Sometimes I would listen to them talk, and I would just come and I would tell them, hey, I had a dream, you know. I dream of you all, and look what happened. She said, how did you get to know? But I heard them. I heard them. And she said, but you know, all what she's saying is right, you know. We have to start listening to her. But I heard them in their conversation. And then next thing, she would come to me and tell me, you're good too, you know. I tell her, yes, I'm looking out for you all. I have 3 girls raising, and 2 daughters, and you, plus my chick, the other 2 boys. And when I'm washing, I will tell everybody, come, sit. I want everybody to wash. When you're all bathing, I want everybody to put all your clothes, underwears, everything. I want to see when everybody have their period or what. We have to check on that. And everybody come to me for the pad because I am monitoring my girls. I don't want one to get in any trouble, or for that one to come and tell me, well, you know, that one, everybody have to go together. I would tell them, let me tell you something, when you bring somebody, and if I tell you I don't like that person, respect me. I want you to get somebody to grow with you. Somebody that you can look up to. Grow with the person, somebody that you love. And sometimes I would say, that person, forget about that person. That person is a womanizer. But please, take care of yourself. You understand? Ferdina has never tell me any nonsense you talk to me. Never. She said, okay, that you troublesome, man. But I wasn't paying no mind to what they would say because I want good for them. If, up till now, everybody would go down to town for carnival, 6 o'clock, home, I will look for them. If I give you a special time to go to a function, you're not there, I will come look for any function. I will come and look for any function. And all I will just tell the person if I have my children here, I come for them. Yes. And they never raise without each other. They always together, and that is how we do. I always tell them, don't look down on people down here. Try to bring them up. Always say good morning, good night, and try to be nice to everybody. That's why this gentleman, he's looking on the cruise ship, and everybody's giving me good reports about him. And you see the Dominicans coming back to their television, good stuff about him. And I am so proud of my children. I was so proud of Ferdina because everybody was telling me good stuff about Ferdina. All she would tell you, good stuff. Good stuff. You understand me? So I don't really know how to express myself about Ferdina. I was so proud of Ferdina. And I'm proud of myself to see the quality that I bring up. I did not give birth to her, but I brought her up like mine, and she was mine. I am not calling her my stepdaughter. Because step is something you walk on. She was my daughter. And anybody that has children taken care of is your husband or your wife, children. Don't call them step. Please, try to call them your own. Right? Call them your own. Because these children, they're just looking for somebody to love them and give them everything that you have. And that is what I gave to Ferdina. Okay, that's why Ferdina loved me so much. Before Ferdina will talk to you, she will tell you, Miss Joy, my stepmother, I'm going up at my parents' home. She never once said, I'm going up by my parents' home. I'm going home. Because I made it her home. And I make her know that I am her parent, one of her parents. And I was there for her at all times. You understand? I don't know, may her soul rest in peace.
Okay, thank you so much, Mrs. Frampton. Thank you so much. That surely give us some light on the Ferdina was growing up, who you brought up, the lady, the powerful woman that you brought up, our friend, our colleague, our loved one. Thank you so much for that. The next person we're going to have here is one, she would say, my ride or die. And that's Ferdina's very good friend, a dear friend, the colleague, Daniel Marie.
Evening, everybody. Knowing the quiet person that I am, it will have to take Ferdina from me. So I prepared a short speech, a tribute, what they call tribute, that's what Evelyn told me to prepare. So I'm going to try my best to give my view of the Ferdina I knew. Today we gather not to mourn, but to celebrate the life of Ferdina Frampton. Short technical difficulty, we'll just pause for a moment. So I'll take that again. Today we gather not just to mourn, but to celebrate the life of Ferdina Frampton. Sometimes I call her Triple F, or she would say Triple F. Or sometimes when she called me Mr. Marie, I would say yes, Mrs. Lazar. So I sometimes refer to her as Mrs. Lazar. A treasured colleague, a mentor, and a dear friend of mine, and to many. As we celebrate her life, let us remember and honor the remarkable person she was and the extraordinary life she lived. Ferdina and I joined Cable and Wireless approximately 19 years ago. I in February, and she sometime around May. And from the very first day, she brought a unique energy to the company. It is thereafter our friendship grew to mutual respect. We have had several life discussions about work and personal, our dreams, our aspiration, etc. She always had something to discuss. Her life, what she's planning, what she intends to do. And she's sometimes run that discussion by me to get a little feedback, to see where my head is, where my mind is, what I think about it. She was a very meticulous individual who kept track of everything. There was always a spreadsheet detailing her mission from beginning to end. The cost, the time, etc. And if you go into her computer, she kept a spreadsheet of everything. She can have a spreadsheet of her budget down to every dollar she spent, every withdrawal she do, everything she spent. She's on a spreadsheet. And I said, but I know share that with me one of those days. Let me do exactly what you're doing. And the person that I am, I just cannot keep track of finances like that. Everything, she have a spreadsheet and she records everything. She planning a carnival activity, she records everything. She have a meeting to attend, she detailed everything, and that will be detailed in her spreadsheet on her computer. And that was the kind of person that she was. She never left anything incomplete. We would speak every day, sometimes more than once, especially when she's at work or on weekends. She would call simply to check up on me or to share an idea. And often I would do the same. We ate lunch together. Everyone in the lunchroom know our sitting arrangement, and they don't dare sit in Ferdina's seat or Mr. Mary's seat. Because when she comes, she'll ask them to please, excuse me, Mr. Mary sits here and I sit here. So everyone know they have to respect our sitting arrangement in the mess room. Since her passing, sadly, I mostly sit where she normally sits. She is already well missed in the mess room or in the lunchroom. One of Ferdina's most admirable traits was her unwavering commitment to her colleagues and the work we do. Her passion for her work, combined with a genuine kindness and an ever-present smile, quickly endeared her to all of us. She was not just dedicated to the success of the company, but deeply invested in the growth and well-being of everyone in the company. Her door was always open, ready to offer guidance, support, or just a listening ear. Before you pass by office, come inside, sit down, let us talk. Everybody in the office can attest to that. She always have an open door policy. If you see her door closed, you know that she's on a meeting call and she do not want to be disturbed. And even if you pass, if I come and I peep through, she's signaling. And I'll call you, no, and I call, but I will talk to you just now. Sit down, don't go. I'll talk to you just now. Ferdina's brilliance in her field was undeniable. She was simply the best. She loves the radio, and that was quite visible when she embarked on her own program in the spotlight. I can remember when she first discussed this initiative with me. She wanted to provide a platform for so many to tell their story and to inspire listeners several years later, as we all agree this program have done just that. Everybody can attest that in the spotlight, and I think the last count she told me, she did 300 and something programs, I think. I did not take a note of it, but I think that was the figure that she gave me. But beyond her professional excellence, Ferdina was a person of great character and warmth. She had the rare ability to light up a room with her presence and to make each person she interacted with feel important and valued. I have been in her presence on many occasions walking the streets of Roseau, where she would naturally adjust to different personalities we encountered. Everyone would be, Ferdina is this, Ferdina is that, Ferdina, I want to talk to you, Ferdina, you need to do that for me. You know? And if we were not too busy, she would stop to say a kind word or listen to whatever they had to say. Her sense of humor often accompanied by her hearty laugh. That's festive, we can all remember. Every time she smiled, you just cannot resist that festive. She could lift the spirit of the entire office, even on a most challenging day. Outside of work, Ferdina had a vibrant life filled with interest and passion. Whether it was a love for her show in the spotlight, which I mentioned earlier, she was the director on the Red Cross board. She served at the Red Cross for several years until she said, okay, I need to give this up. She was a member of the Queen Show organizing committee. assisting on many other organizations where assistance was required, she pursued everything with a full heart. She never left a stone unturned. Ferdina also had a deep sense of community and was always the first to volunteer for corporate social responsibility initiatives. The desire to give back spoke volumes about her character. She believed in making a difference and inspired us all to look beyond ourselves and contribute to the greater good. I can recall her recent activity where she collaborated with an Overseas National in a back-to-school initiative, and I saw one of the photos being flashed on there. This is what she was about, reaching the most vulnerable, touching and transforming lives. Up until hospitalization, there was at least one single mother whom she was assisting every month, single-handedly. She mentioned the person to me, but she didn't really give me a name. She just said, Daniel, there's this girl that every month I need to give her something because she has this child that goes to primary school and I need to assist her. And I knew she gave me that, she told me recently, I think as late as October, she mentioned that to me. And I'm pretty sure there could be many others whom she may be assisting. Because she do not like to talk about people that she helped in that way. No, so many people come to her for assistance, but they would come to her to get cable and wireless assistance, and sometimes she would take up the initiative by herself to assist them on her own. And they say what the right hand doing, the left hand shouldn't know, so I guess sometimes she would keep those things to herself. In facing life challenges, Ferdina demonstrated a resilience and strength that was truly awe-inspiring. Her ability to remain positive, to see the silver lining even in difficult situations, taught us invaluable lessons about grace and fortitude. She was a tender soul, but standing to adversity when she required. She was a no-nonsense person, and who is never afraid to speak her mind, especially when she believes in justice is being done, especially at home. Often she would say, I'm going to Jeffrey, Jeffrey was our former GM. I'm going to him, because what he doing there, I don't like it. Or I have to let him know what he did there, I don't like it. Or she would say the same thing for our new GM. I have to let Sharon know that what she did there, I do not like it, and I go into her. I do not like that email that she sent or something. So she always stand up for what this person say, I do not like it, so she has to. Or Mr. Mary, what you did to me, I do not like it. You know, and she would vex and I can recall a situation recently where I had to go to her office. I said, but I think I came in one morning and she was in her office and I said, good morning. But she did not hear because she was in conversation with somebody. And I went to sit down. So I was passing to go forward and she said, Mr. Mary, good morning. I said, but Ferdina, I said morning already. How many mornings you want? No. She was silent. So I noticed now she picked up her attitude because she don't like people to talk to her rough. She's very, very soft and thin skinned. So later on, I noticed she was going to get something to eat, and she had an attitude. She walked in and she had an attitude. She's not even watching me. So when she came back, I went into her office and I said, Mrs. Lazar, I am very sorry for what I did to you. I did say morning, but you were in conversation, but Mary, you did not have to speak to me that way, you know. You did not have to speak to me that way. I said, I didn't hear you. All you had to say, good morning, and you spoke to me rough and I didn't like it. Sometimes you don't speak to me. I said, Mrs. Lazar, I'm sorry. Mrs. Lazar, it will happen again. In facing life challenges, Ferdina demonstrated a resilience and strength that was truly awe-inspiring. I think I said that already. Her ability to remain positive, to see the silver lining, even in difficult situations, taught us invaluable lessons about grace and fortitude. She was a tender soul, but stand up to adversity when she required to. She was a no-nonsense person who never afraid to speak her mind, especially when she believes in injustice is being done. As we say farewell, let us remember, while Ferdina may no longer be with us physically, her spirit remained alive in the halls of the company that she worked for, locally and regionally, and in each of us, our hearts. Her legacy is not just the work she did, but the lives that she touched, the friendships she forged, and the countless hearts she won. To every one of you, I offer deepest condolences. Please know that she often spoke of you with immense admiration and love. And she would talk about Aileen many times. She would mention Aileen to me and say, that's my very good friend, you know, Daniel, that's my very good friend and I love her. And she would give me stories about Aileen and when she go back to Aileen and how Aileen treats her. She would speak of Mrs. Jones, she speak often about you. And that's my mother, she would put it, that's my mother, you know, Miss Jones. Sometimes she does do something, you know, but, you know, it's okay, Miss Jones. And she talk about some of her colleagues, even still, I'm still there. You know, sometimes she talk about the roti I bought the other day. After order my roti, you know, from Steve, and that's the best broth you can get, you know, Daniel. After order broth by Steve, you must try the broth by Steve. And the black pudding sometimes, you know. And my other colleagues and them, often she would mention them. She would mention them by name, and she would say things. I've never really heard her say anything negative about people. I mean, she would have a little contention, a little dissatisfaction with things people may say or do. But quite often it's something positive she would say about people, even people in the public. I don't want people to say bad things about her, because people do say bad things about her sometimes. People who do not know her, because the kind of person that she is, you have to know how to speak about her, you know, and she could never say anything bad about these people, you know. She would often give a positive word. They can say what they want to know, but it's okay. I said, no, Miss Frampton, you are Triple F. That's a brand. You have to protect the brand, you know, Miss Frampton. That's the brand, Triple F. You know, and she would smile and so forth, you know. So in closing, let us carry forward the lesson we learned from Ferdina. Let us strive to live with the same kindness, dedication, and passion that she showed every day. Ferdina, your memory will forever be a beacon of inspiration to me and to us. You will be profoundly missed, but never, ever be forgotten. Thanks to you, everyone, for being here to honor a truly exceptional person whose life, work, and friendship have left us a mark on each of us. Ferdina, Mrs. Laza, Triple F, Ferdina Frampton, rest in peace, knowing that your legacy will continue to resonate in our lives forever. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Daniel Marie. Thank you. Now we're going to turn our attention to the screen. There is one tribute from a good friend, Charles Worth, very good friend of Ferdina. So here we go.
Ferdina Frampton, a friend, a sister, an encourager. Her favorite word, my darling. Ferdina and I became friends some 20 plus years ago when I first met Ferdina back at Kim Nawala's call center for Good Dear Friends, and we became friends instantly. We communicated daily. We ensured that we checked on each other every time. The last months in Dominica, Ferdina and I connected. We spent 3 to 4 hours together, just catching up and chatting. I remember I went to Infant's house, and Ferdina was like, I'm going to fight you because I had the opportunity to get on the rooftop, but she haven't done that yet. Ferdina was one of the people who I know I could always look forward to for words of advice and encouragement. Back in September, I embarked on a journey at work, and everything didn't go as planned. However, Ferdina left me a voice encouraging me to just trust the process, trust God, never question God. Her advice to me was everything happens for a reason. Everything had, and God knows best. With all the time we pass it, this voice note that I have of Ferdina, which I've shared with Evelyn, Danny, and Gail, is what I use as my comfort, words of advice, and just help me reminisce on who the person Ferdina was. To the family, Gail, Bernard, and Mrs. Frampton, and the rest of my brothers and sisters, I want to say, accept my sympathies. To her dear friend, Daniel, Ferdina loved you, Ferdina cherished you, and you played a very important role in Ferdina's life. Even though it was a short conversation in the office when I tried to play that I know you before, Ferdina did say yes, I've been knowing you longer, knowing her longer, but she did make it clear that you were her right guy. To her colleagues, hold strong. To everyone at this memorial, I just want to say, hold strong. That I know words of advice were, no one knows the time, no one knows the reason. Everything happens for a reason. Trust in God, trust in the process. To end this short tribute to Ferdina, I will share the voice that she shared with me to everyone tonight. And to her family, just know you are here on hers. Ferdina, you will be missed. I love you. And that blue suit, that famous blue suit, I can assure you that I will make sure I'm going to wear it and always remember you. I love you, friend. You will be missed.
So I want to debate the voice in the video, so I'll just play it from my phone, okay?
My darling, I will just say this to you. Everything in God's time. Only God knows when He's ready for certain things to happen in our lives. And always remember, everything happens for a reason. We may not see the reason at the time. We may never even get to know the reason. Or we may know it somewhere down the line. But in God's time. I'm still very proud of you. And when the time is right, you will do it again. And you will succeed if it's God's will.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Charlesworth. I know you're looking, you're streaming, you're following Emma. Thank you so much for such beautiful tributes. Okay, it's my turn. I know many of you have heard the name from Ferdina Evelyn. Not many of you have met me. However, I am a very good friend of Ferdina. And I met Ferdina back in, I think that was 2017, when I started to do a lot of charity work here in Dominica, coming from the US. And someone introduced me to Ferdina, and we had a short conversation. I told her what my mission was in Dominica and what I wanted to do moving forward. And she then introduced the Rosa Primary School to me at the time. And that school became one of the dearest schools since I had gone there as a child. And in 2018, I remembered when I got diagnosed, well actually I was in Dominica on vacation, and I was having a lot of medical issues, not knowing what it was. So I wasn't very close to Ferdina. It was only a year of friendship. And I said to her, I called her up and I said, listen, Ferdina, I'm having problems, I don't know what it is. And she said, why don't you go to the doctor? And I said, no, I think I'm going back to New York, which I did. And upon my arrival, there was a lot of difficulties finding what the problem was. It was a very scary moment for me. And then to the end, they found out that one of my thyroids was enlarged, and I needed surgery. At that time, Ferdina arrived in New York, and that was the first time we spent intimate time together. When I say intimate, one-on-one. One-on-one, I remember driving from Long Island to Brooklyn, where her sister Gail lived, and it was only 3-4 days before my surgery. And Ferdina was very encouraging. She was very sweet. I remember picking her up, driving an hour to pick her up, an hour back home. And she said, girlfriend, we don't have to do anything, I said, I know, but you're here. I want to do something with you. And we went, of course, everyone that is close to her knows she likes food. She loved her food. So we went to eat. And then I took her to a spa. And then I took her shopping, and I said, have your way in the store. That was a very beautiful moment, and that was the very first time Ferdina and I spent quality time together. And I'm going to tell you about the Ferdina that I have known outside of a career. Ever since that day in 2018, I have become very close to Ferdina. For matter of fact, Ferdina is my best friend. That's the person I can call when I want to discuss things that I don't want to get out on the street. Things that I know Ferdina is the person that is very private, and I am the same. I listen to Ferdina a lot. Ferdina is a human being. She is like all of us. She feels pain, like all of us. And I listen to Ferdina a lot. A lot of the time she's on Facebook blogging. She would say things like, I'm tired. I have a semester is ending or semester is starting. I don't normally come in, but I would be quick to jump up and call our friend at Body Place and say, can you send her a day at the spa, please? And that's how we were. My birthday, she would celebrate that with me. Every party that I have had since I'm in Dominica, Ferdina have attended except this last one when she fell sick and she had the flu. That was the only one she missed. Ferdina and I shared stuff that she would not share with everybody. Ferdina and I was in a lot of discussion of the wedding plans. Ferdina is the reason why I came to Dominica, bought my property, and decided to go the extra mile because she had huge wedding plans. And we had decided it's going to take place at my home. So when Charles spoke in the video and he said she wasn't happy when he ended up on the rooftop before her, because that was done with Ferdina in mind this year, 2024. I can tell you we were already planning for 50 guests, and that's it. She wanted nothing more. And this is why I kept this event very private, because I knew all the plans Ferdina had set in 2024. I knew the discussions we had. Ferdina and I had a foundation, which I was excited about. She was excited about. We were going to embark on this journey in the next month. December 18th, I arrived at Ferdina's home with a knowledge, of course, just coming from work. And I was just discussing with her, we have to get on the road with these wedding plans because I got a buyer for my property. And she was like, what? No, girlfriend, we have to do that quick. I said, yes, that's why I'm here. So I know Ferdina had a lot of plans in 2024, and I am very honored to be part of that. I mean, I cannot share everything here because we're live, of course. And what I want to tell you, Ferdina was, and a lot of us here knows that she was the person full of life, a lot of life in Ferdina. She loved to dance. Whenever my time is spent with Ferdina, it's all about eating, conversing, talking about things that I don't have anybody to share, like my little boyfriends. She would share things about Larry. She was a very happy person. She shared the love that she had for Larry. She, it's just so coincident that Ferdina, when she told me about Larry, it actually went in one ear and it came out in the other. We were exercising that morning, and I got this call from a friend, and from my sister actually, and she said, "Oh, you did not tell me your best friend is with your cousin." I said, "What are you talking about?" And then I called her and I said, "Who did you tell me again?" And she said, "Larry." I said, "Oh, wow, welcome to the family." So Larry just happened to be my first cousin. So she had found love, and I was very happy for her. Larry and Ferdina shared a lot of great moments together. I would always ask her, "How is Larry treating you?" And she would respond, "Good, girlfriend, I cannot lie," and all the other intimate stuff. But she was a very happy person in her relationship, and she was looking forward to a lot of great things with her partner. And she had a life outside of work and outside of the radio. Ferdina was always the person to share things like, "Girlfriend, I went to this restaurant and they really have good food," like Daniel said. And she was the one who introduced me to Steve's Roti. She told me about Steve's Roti, and every time I have a moment, I would go there and enjoy Steve's Roti and his Saturday broth. Whenever I can't find Steve, I would call Ferdina, "Babes, can you call Steve and tell him leave you 2 broth, please?" So Ferdina was an amazing person, and she will surely be missed. I don't know if I can stand here any longer because there's so much to talk about Ferdina. But what I can tell you, and I know it's the same with you, I will miss her, especially when I want to call somebody to talk to. I want to tell them what my day was like and, the plans that I have. She was always the one I would call. I would say, "What do you think?" I remember when I called her and I said, "I am planning to move back to Dominica. What do you think?" She said, "Girlfriend, you sure? Are you ready?" I said, "I am not quite ready, but, maybe I can maybe take the challenge." And Ferdina is the reason that I am here in Dominica. It's been 2 years since I came back home and trying to contribute to my country. And I just wish Ferdina was here with us because all the great plans we had at the Children's Foundation coming up. And I was looking forward to doing that with Ferdina. I remember when I asked her, "Will you team up with me?" She said, "Elaine, I am so busy, but I can't say no to you." I wrote her a letter in December and I asked, "Do you just want to be a volunteer, or would you like to be part of my foundation?" When I arrived at her home December 18th, she said, "Oh, by the way, I haven't responded to your letter, but are you kidding me? A volunteer? No, I want to be on your executive." And I said, "Great, that's what I wanted to hear from you." So Ferdina is such an amazing person, a wonderful friend. I can recall when I told her I'm going to opened my real estate company in Dominica, I said, "Do you think that's a good move?" She said, "Girlfriend, whatever you lay your hands on, it's always good." And she was the one who hosted that. And it was an amazing experience again. And Ferdina is just a remarkable friend, a remarkable woman. She was like all of us, sometimes in pain, as Daniel said. You know, Ferdina, people would say horrible things about Ferdina. Whenever she would call me, anytime I see she blogging stuff on Facebook, I would privately call her or message her. And the last message I sent to Ferdina in regards to that, I said to her, being a people pleaser destroys your peace. It's okay to disappoint people, and sometimes you pay them no mind and move on. On December 31st, just before, well, that was actually the very same day she was hospitalized. I don't know how many of you had the chance to tell Ferdina how much she meant to you, although we constantly tell each other. But on December 31st, for the last time, my message to Ferdina was, friendship is one of the most important parts of life. Friends are there when life gets us down and when there is an occasion to celebrate. It's easy to see that life is filled with blessings when you stop to consider them all. But the most beautiful of these blessings is the warmth and love of a good friend. Thank you for sharing in my joys and celebration every milestone. And most of all, being supportive. Happiest New Year. I'm so thankful to have you by my side as my friend. I love you, Ferdina Edelin. And this was my message to Ferdina on December 31st. She did not respond. That wasn't the norm. On the 1st of January, I reached out one more time and I said, what's going on? I haven't heard you. And January 2nd, she responded with a voice note right here, saying that she was hospitalized and she know that I will come. And when you come, I will explain. I immediately jumped into my car and headed to the hospital. Upon my arrival, I met Daniel and Kendra, and for the first time we met. And at that point, I knew she was sick, and I knew she was going to get better. But none of us was expecting this moment. So now I say, Ferdina, my dear friend, my darling, as you would call me, I will call you my love. Rest in peace. I will always miss you. I will always remember you. And to her family, hold strong. I know it's not a very easy moment, but every day we live, it gets better. What I do know Ferdina would want is for us to move on. She would always say, God's never give us more than we can bear, and God knows best. And I really, truly believe it. We all ask why. I am still waiting for a call myself to say it's not true. But we sometimes, reality have to kick in. So this celebration here tonight, I am very honored to have put this together because this is how Ferdina know me. She know Edelin for doing this. And I know how private she is, and I wanted this to be a real private moment to honor her life, to remember Ferdina outside of her career. The Ferdina that loves to dance, smile, converse. She loves to socialize, by the way, and we know that. So, Ferdina, we love you. I love you. Rest in peace, and you will always be remembered. I know we have names here that, well, we have people that are not here that would love to share the tribute. But before we do that, I want to go to Francine. Okay, her name is here, but she's here as well. But she doesn't have the courage to do it. And we have to respect that. I'm going to open again for the ones who do have the courage. Evelyn, do you think you can? Okay. Steve, do you think you can? Okay, we are going to hear from Steve, the owner of Old Stone, who was a very great friend of Ferdina. And let's welcome him.
Everything else is for me. And it is in that regard I make Ferdina. I think we both started in the spotlight together in my old days of Old Stone. I could now say that Ferdina was one of the person who ate the most by me, because if she would have had 300 and something programs, I'm certainly sure she would have eaten 300 by the time. I did not know Ferdina socially, honestly. I remember calling Daniel and asking him, outside of her father, I did not really know her socially. Everything about me is business. So whenever you interact with me, it has to be some way that you're part and parcel of my operation. And I did ask Daniel, but who is her family? Does she have brother and sister? And imagine, I know her for so long. I don't really meddle people in terms of outside the parameters of business. Except my keepers in the food. When I got the news that she died, I sat down, of course, behind my desk. I could not move because my voice died. She was the voice behind my business. I do not know there are many business people who succeeded, as we would say on the internet, having an influencer. But she was my influencer. Old Stone grew part and parcel of Ferdina's voice in the spotlight. And I am just lost, actually. I remember tonight the Bible reading of Job questioning God. I sometimes question life and death, why you live, why you die. And I don't know when I will get those answers, but they are so sacred. To hear that Ferdina died, it took on a different meaning. You are transposed into a different space and time. Because you know you have them there every day, and you beat up on them so much, and the thought of death just
is so far removed. Other than somebody, dwindling with illness. My mom, of course, was sick for over 30 years. So I'm aware of people getting sick, getting better, getting sick, getting better. You don't know somebody who, like you would have intimate knowledge of her, that she's ill. She did tell me one time, a few years ago, that she had some medical issues, and that's just where it stopped. Because outside of that, I really, not the kind of person who would prod. Okay, you're sick, all right, I wish you better, that kind of thing. So, it really took me a while to digest. As a matter of fact, I was told by Daniel that, Ferdina is in the hospital. Wow. But then 2 days again, somebody's calling me. Ferdina said that you have to send food for her every day in the hospital, and when she finishes, when she comes out, you always sort out everything. Just tell Steve that. I said, no problem. Today is Friday, start on Saturday, we have broth. And then just ask her what she wants to eat. And our friendship was so easy. Steve went on to do that TV stuff. I think in the spotlight we can do a lot more. Yes, maybe that's the longest conversation we might have had. Because we so know what we wanted to do. I so trust her voice and her knowledge as an influencer that I did not have to spend too much time to see what it is that we're about to do, what it is that we can do, how far we want to go. She was good at what she did, and I appreciate people who take the time off to do well in what they're called for. And she did not dabble in other areas that she wasn't called for. And so when she opened her mouth, she would have pleased me because she would be good at it. And if not anything else, let us challenge ourselves through a death that we are going to be good at what we called for. I understood tonight that she was a very spiritual person. To be sending a voice note for Charlesworth, it borders on I am seeing, I'm transcending. An angel spoke to me. Something is going to happen down the road. But ask me the date and time, I'm not saying. So with her angelic voice, there would have been prophetic utterance. And maybe that is why we grew so close. I have never saw her dance, but I always loved her bubbly smile. And I think quite a lot of Dominicans fell in love with our simple food because of her brilliant voice. When she opened that voice, that roti would always be fresh. That broth could not be spoken about better than, and I will miss her. I have to now go searching for another victim. Because when you're actually in business with me, we build that comrade. I trust you, and you know that, Daniel. I trust you. I will really hold you down, because what you have, I want it. So, on behalf of myself, on behalf of my company, I cannot say that I always join to celebrate life. I celebrate your life with you when you're living. I mourn because you're gone. I will miss her. She was just so very empowering and so very good to me and to all of those that she would have touched, as said tonight. So when we pray, let us pray for her soul that it will forever rest in peace. One good spotlight on it is that she may be having those deep conversations with her father, who by himself has left another legacy. And we should also pray for our country, Dominica, because I find lately, for a while, a lot of important voices cease. A lot of influential people, as I would tell my friend, took a ticket, a one-way ticket, to the great beyond. We need to pray for that plane, that somewhere along the line that engine will stop work for a little while, so that those beautiful people that are in Dominica, building our societies, building our country, will not have that flight. That flight is just a little too often. And maybe we say God gives and God takes, and it's a time to born and a time to die. It is also very important that while you're here, you give all. And when we expect you to be in the spotlight, we are hearing you go. And I go like Job. Maybe God will not answer, but we do have to ask the questions. Was it? What happened? And why? Why would a productive person of Ferdina's caliber just cease to exist? Why does my hand just cease to function? I slept with a functional hand last night, and I got up this morning and I can't move it. And let us keep praying that these beautiful souls who makes a difference are around for a while. May God bless you all richly. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to take a pause before we take any more tributes to Ferdina. And we're going to help ourselves in the back with some refreshments. So everyone can join in. And we will resume back for the tributes within the next 15 minutes.
am so excited. The In the Spotlight radio show started 10 years ago. On the 13th of May 2013 is celebrating a milestone. Series, and it is a pleasure to be here with you for this program in particular. And I know many of you have been waiting patiently. Excited. The In the Spotlight radio show started 10 years ago. On the 13th of May 2013 is celebrating a milestone. And it is a pleasure to be here with you for this program in particular. And I know many of you have been waiting patiently.
Has been too long.
Now we would like to call on Ms. Ferdina, who is also a colleague of Ferdina Frampton. Can you please come?
Good evening, everybody. Well, everybody know I'm not a very Okay, so everybody know I'm not a very outspoken person, and I joined Cable and Wireless School after Hurricane Maria. I came straight from marketing into Cable and Wireless. And I'm the products person, so whenever there is a radio program, Ferdina would say, you know, you have to come on because you're the products person, you're the one who knows the product. And I'm very shy. So every time I'll be on radio, it would be, I don't know what to say, what am I going to do? Girl, just relax, just be calm, you know you got this, you can do this. So, I will miss Ferdina dearly. For one, she's the one who would always make me come out of my shy space, my comfort zone, in other words. And just Friday gone, when we had to go for some outside broadcast without her, it was very hard. And I remember Francine telling me when I came downstairs, Kendra, please don't stop. Because from the moment I came downstairs and I realized, wait, we're actually doing the setup, and she's not there to say, okay, you need to put this here, we need to do this, we need to do that. And I tried to put myself together just so that I don't break down. And then Francine and I had to eventually come on to actually speak of the promotion. And the most I remember is just barely saying what the promotion was and just handing selected the mic, and I stormed out. I believe a customer was trying to get my attention, but I came back eventually and apologized to her because I didn't have what it takes to actually start. So, Ferdina not being around the office is actually going to be a big, a huge loss, a huge void, actually, because she was always my go-to person whenever something is stressful and I am not sure how I'm going to handle it. If I have to respond to in an email and I probably figure it's going to be something harsh, she would be the one who would actually, you know, say, no, you have to mellow this down a bit. You need to take this out, you need to put this in, that kind of thing. So I will honestly miss her a lot. And I will also miss her because I'm a foodie just like Ferdina. So whenever she would prepare something that she know I like, she would say, hey Ken, I'm bringing lunch for you today, or I'm bringing breakfast for you, or something like that. So I'm just going to say, I won't say rest in peace. I don't like to hear rest in peace. I would honestly say, till we meet again.
Thank you, Kendra. The reason I was standing next to her is because she wanted me there. She wanted that strength. Okay, we are going to move on, and we are going to call on Francine, who is another colleague of Ferdina. So welcome, Francine.
Colleague and friend of Ferdina. It's a strange feeling when you normally have the words, but in a moment like this, you find yourself speechless. I wish I could have written something. I tried to get the courage, actually walked from floor to here, trying to build courage instead of driving. but all the same, it's difficult. The friendship that Ferdina and I shared, it grew in a time of adversity. We were both going through very challenging times, and we just connected. We were there for each other, and we continued to be there for each other today. We call ourselves the Flows F and F because, of course, our broadcast and everything work related, and even outside of work, we did together. Ferdina was a special person, and it's amazing to hear all the good things that persons are saying because I can relate. She was a friend. She was sunshine in any room. She was a confidant. You could speak to her about anything, and she would be there for you. I don't know how she did it for so many persons, because I'm hearing that everyone is singing the same song. I'm gonna miss her, of course, like everyone here. And I try to, tell myself everything I've told persons, when they're dealing with loss. Think of the good things and think right, And I try to get comfort into these things, these words. But it just doesn't work. Because when you lose a friend like Ferdina, it's a great loss. I try to understand how I'll keep pushing forward, because we were always there for each other. We held each other grounded. Sometimes we would have to go on camera and then something goes wrong. And if I'm panicking, she's the one to keep me together. And if she's panicking, I'm the one to keep her together. So it's a loss. It's a void. I think Dominica as a whole has lost the staff. Flo has lost a tremendous and exceptional employee. And then, of course, to those of us who are here, we lost a friend, a loved one, a fiance for some of us, someone at least married. So the most we can do is try to remember the moments, remember what made our friendships work, remember her smile, her words of encouragement. And I'm so fortunate because up to the last moment, I was able to keep getting those words, just about an hour before. She said, I'm always there with you. And Kendra and I, we spoke to her and she said, you all got this because I'm here. I'm here with you. And that's what Ferdina was to me. She was that pure. You've got this. And that's why I'm here right now, because she would say, girlie, get onto that podium and talk, because you can do it. So I'll continue to keep her words and keep courage in everything. She's also taught me a lot as well as it relates to media and communications, so I'll be forever grateful. But it's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. Dinah, I love you. I'll continue to love you to the end.
Okay, we're going to call on GK, another very good friend of Ferdina, and the man behind all these beautiful pictures and the beautiful dresses that we see him. That's the guy behind all the stuff, the spotlight stuff. Welcome, GK.
Yeah. Let me just say that I did not the both of us, but the first thing I need was to just thank you for showing up. Yeah. Yeah, we really wanted to. Yeah. You might bring it done? Okay. So we really wanted to, come together to, show gratitude of our Ferdina, express love for Ferdina. And I know it might be hard for some of us, where we all have that one mindset that we try to be sure. Because, you get over and over, she was here, she would tell us, hey, go for it. That's the kind of person she was, and to me, she was more than a second mother, And when I met Ferdina for the first time, you can ask my wife. I have a memory meeting people for this life. I never remember, but I met her and I remember, because when you meet a soul like Ferdina, you don't forget. Because she just has such a huge impact, a huge presence. And I met her and I was just, doing a job, and she was there present at the job. It was a job in the hospital, I remember, and we had to just make a nice little video for donating blood, because she loved doing that. She loved. I've never done it. And every time, from that day, she would tell me, but Chike, come and give blood. I said, but I never that needle you want me to deal with there. And she was fearless, she was loving, and I think most of the time she would do that. She would always do it because she would just think like that's the right thing to do. And she would love somebody would do it for her. But anyways, I met her there, and there was somebody else there with her, right? And like another nurse at the time, and she took a selfie with all of us, like about 3 of us or 4, and then she asked, just asked me, go in the picture then, and I just stood out behind and listened to the picture, and that is maybe how many years ago, and up to a day like today, I think that's the only picture I have of her. Imagine that, how close we are, and there's a reason for that, because she would always come to me to take her picture. And we build a relationship there, and then I realized that she wanted me to do more, and then she saw what else I could do, and then she asked me again, and then, Chike, you can do that? And Chike, you can do that? What? Well, do all that for me. And I always say, but why? Like, you can get anybody else, but she said, no. I love how you doing it, and no one knows this. I don't have to say it publicly, but every single thing I have done for Ferdina. In the spotlight, personal pictures, parties, interviews, videos, every single thing, except for Floyd. That's a business leader talking that. Every single personal thing, every single thing. I never charge her 1 cent. Not 1 quarter. And she come into me and she said, "Why? How much I have for you?" And I was like, "For what again?" I don't want to have a conversation with her Because it's like the way she embraced me is like I didn't know how to embrace her back, you know. So it's like the only way I could somehow show love to how she treated me was just do anything, you know. And no bother, you know. And she said, "GK, yeah, you know, and you have to work for free. You have to give some. I have to give it back to you somehow." Let's stop that, man. It doesn't matter, you know. And I remember the last kind of a thing we talk about was she pulled me on the side and she said, "Why, plenty people flexible, you know, plenty other photographers flexible because she had flown and GK, don't that get it? Oh, yes, why is me?" And I say, "Well, why are you letting us be? I don't ask him for those things. You know what? I work hard and I never really needed so much. You know, but she always seen what I'm doing for her as more than what she's doing for me." Just like, what? You know, and I said, "Well, why don't you just, I have other photographers, I know them, why don't you just ask them? You know, why don't you just ask them?" I don't have a problem with that, you know. I'm an influencer in my thing. I love food because of you. You know, and she would say, "No, he's my son and I love you." And that's just all I remember. Thank you.
Thank you so much, GK. All right, we are going to move right along. Guys, I don't know how many of you know that, but Asa, Banton, and Ferdina are very good friends. And tonight, he is here, and we are going to hear him at the podium.
Yes, good night. I ain't come to bring no sadness, it's everything on the mind. Because one thing I know, if Ferdina was here right now, or if wherever Ferdina is right now, and if she's looking right now, I don't think Ferdina would want us to be there crying. And one thing I know about life, and I always say that everybody has to die. And we don't know when, where, how, and all of us have a day. And Ferdina have had a day. And now we have to worry about our day and for us not to let what that happened to Ferdina, how it happened, in whatever way it happened. So it don't happen in that way. But Ferdina, we all know Ferdina is a phenomenal woman. Ferdina have life. Ferdina, I don't have no imagination of no sad time for Ferdina. I never see Ferdina vex. Maybe Larry alone that see Ferdina vex. In the room there. You got nobody there that see Ferdina vex. Maybe her brother, her sister, maybe you know back in the days. But I never see Ferdina vex. And everybody that flew there, they know. I would come by from maybe 11 o'clock in the morning. And I need 6 o'clock in the afternoon. In the night. 5 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 o'clock. I don't know further than I used to go to work. I know when I she used to stay that till 11 o'clock. Because we will talk about everything. Everything in that. Politics, man, woman, life, everything. You know, Ferdina always support me. Ferdina was one of my, my advisors on the side. You know, if I have an idea and something it's a little complicated, I would say I'll go to Ferdina and then, she'll give me half view on it. And it have times when I would come from the airport, and instead of going home, I stopped directly, I'd stop by flu and go and see Ferdina. So, I I don't want to bring out that sad part. Because the only sad part I have about Ferdina is when I think of maybe how Ferdina died. But when I think of Ferdina herself, it's just love. It's just love. And I think we should keep representing for Ferdina. We should not let nobody take that away. Make people remember Ferdina's name. Because the thing about life is, when you die, a lot of people just forget you after a couple of times, you know? That is why my song, If I Die Young, whenever I sing that song, whoever named that in this song, you will always remember that person whenever I call that name. So that is why Ferdina, if you can make a tribute for Ferdina, that is for sure. Before Ferdina died, maybe like 45 minutes before that happened, I spoke to Ferdina. Ferdina actually called me. I came to the hospital to see Ferdina, and when I reached there, I saw Larry. And then me and Larry had some conversation, and then I tell Larry, I'm going to see Ferdina. Larry told me, Ferdina in the theater, or something like that. So I wait after I see nothing happened, so I went back home. And the day I had to go and see Ferdina, I took a rose, because I have boxes of roses that I bought to give to the teachers and certain other, important females, nurses, teachers like Emo and so on. And I took a special rose and I put that rose in the back of my jeep. Because my father was at the hospital at that time too. So I said, 2 trips to make. So I go in and see Ferdina, and while I leave in Ferdina, she actually voice note me. And then I check in first, you I come in and see, and Ferdina was speaking normal, like the Ferdina I knew. And one of the things Ferdina would tell me, we had a discussion about change for change. And Ferdina tell me, that was the last thing I remember Ferdina would tell me, is that Asa, you will never want, you will never be in need. And then the last word she says, remember I tell you that. And it's like 40 minutes after, 45 minutes after doing around that time, I get number. If Ferdina die, I get vexed. Because I know people like to do them thing. Spread those rumors. I see, well, and I was right by the hospital, I was by Lindomat actually. I stopped to get coconut water to bring from my father and so on. And then when I reached here, I really see it. It's serious. And I said, well, I just spoke to Ferdina. And then going back and play the voice to really see this Ferdina I was speaking to. And I hear Ferdina, remember I tell you that. And lately there, while I home, my phone ring, and I see Ferdina Frampton. I watch the phone and I watch the whole fraternity. Like Ferdina calling, and I don't answer the phone. I wait to see if the person will call again, or Ferdina might call again. Wherever Ferdina is right now, if Ferdina heard my story, I know Ferdina cracking up. And I watch it for that, the day passed, I keep watching for go back and Ferdina to see if have any movement. No, I tell my close people that they're watching that weird. Another day passed, nothing anyway for them. Early morning, I lie down in my bed again. Ferdina Frampton. I said, you know what? I'm going to answer the phone. Because if that is Ferdina, because I tell you, the thing about life is nobody that inside the doctor died. And nobody don't know. And everybody that died, anybody that died already, they never come back and see how it is after you're dead. So I now say, maybe if that is an explanation, I'm going to take it to the people going to tell my mother and say, lying. It's not Ferdina I speak to, but I went to take that call to yell Ferdina Frampton before. When I answer, because it's still not the talk, and I hear boy. I said, hello. Good. Then it was Larry. It was Larry. And me and Larry studied for like maybe like 2 hours, and Larry cried. And I got my tears. But I try not to cry because Ferdina want me to be strong. Ferdina want us to be strong. And life is about celebration. And we're going to miss Ferdina. The entire Dominic are going to miss Ferdina. Everybody going to miss Ferdina. There is a voice. Ferdina was a special woman. People like that come out. The next Ferdina maybe going to come about 3,034. People like that don't just appear, you know? Special people. Yes, man. And I just want us, as I say, to remember for Ferdina, represent for her, and I will keep Ferdina's name in the people's ears. Whether you like it or not, you'll have to deactivate Facebook or find somewhere else and not on. But we have to represent for Ferdina.
Yes, that's right.
And then I have a big Larry, strong a little, because Larry has put his last words. And Ferdina family, accept my sympathy, condolences, and Ferdina a lot of friends. Everybody love Ferdina. One word. Everybody love Ferdina. Anybody that don't love Ferdina because they want to be like Ferdina, you know what I said? It's only that. But for Ferdina, everybody that love Ferdina being there, and I get, you know how many times, like I said live, not only live name, like I said live, that the other company that Digicel, you know, approached me, where I could have been a brand ambassador for Digicel. And I decided, you know what, loyalty over royalty. And first know that, even times when things rough, and I stay with Flo, I stand by Flo with Ferdina, because of Ferdina. I don't believe Ferdina God about me. You know? But because of Ferdina, I really stand with Flo and so on. So I just want to say Ferdina was all about loyalty. When she had love you, she had love you. When she was there for you, she was there for you, and that is it. Nothing, not too much for Ferdina to do for anybody. She would make it happen. If you call Flirt and say, boy, Flirt, wherever, I don't have a talk about it, and she don't have the system in front of her, she'll find a way to get Kenja, not okay, get Daniel, get this one, GK, go in the shop and buy it. You know? And that is what Ferdina is all about. So everybody, and actually I wasn't even supposed to be here today, but when GK messaged me about that, you know, I had a show in St. Thomas, and I was supposed to go to Total after, but I decided, no, I'm going to come. Because they're the first one they do it for Ferdina, you know, we're coming together. And she kept telling me, you know, it's something small, private and nice, you know. I say, if it's possible, the band don't have to be there. You know, that's why we're not doing the funeral. I want to make sure I know what date it is, because I have promoters money already. So I have to make sure, you know. Yes. So, one love, if you're watching on the MO, just give me some blue hats for Ferdina. I keep sending some blue hats for her because she was happy when I did the breakfast fed with the blue, and she really came out and represent for me, she and Larry. So I just keep on giving some blue hats for Ferdina, and I will definitely represent for Ferdina. Love all the fans for coming. I love all in the same way. Alright?
Thank you so much, Asa. That was well said, and I think that changed the entire mood in here tonight. So we're going to have the last tribute, and we're going to call the person who spent a lot of intimate time with Ferdina, behind the scene, the person that she loved a lot, the person who loved her, the person who cared for her while she was going through her rough moments at the hospital, the person who was there when she had every bone or every pinch that needed attention, and that's the fiancé, Larry Leza.
Yeah, it was.
So kind of believe I'm here doing that right now. Honestly, but well, my part of the story. Everyone, like, no one knows me like that. I came from nothing, I came from the gutter. Intimacy, whether in life, she changed my whole life. Honestly, but because they remain, so we don't go back. I never look back since. I myself am surprised to what I turned up today. I'm surprised with myself as well.
Okay, we can well understand. Let me just thank everyone, the family, of course, Mrs. Frampton, the brother, the colleagues, the friends. Thank you so much for showing up for Ferdina. I know she's smiling. Ferdina, we love you. We all will miss you. You live on in our hearts. And to everyone here, continue holding on. Continue remembering our love for Ferdina Frampton. As Asa said, many times when people pass on, after a few days, they're forgotten. But let us not make Ferdina Frampton name be forgotten. Let her live on in our hearts. She was just a real friend, and I know we can't replace her. But yeah, so let's just, before I close, I just got instructions that one of her friends would like to give tribute, and that's Rhoda. So if you can come. Good night to everyone. Good night to my family. Ferdina and I go way, way, way back. We know each other for years, upon years, upon years. And sometimes I tell persons, you do not have to call somebody every day to know that they have your back and you have their back. But when you call them, they're always there for you, through thick and through thin. And Point Michelle was my second home at one point in life. And I recall a couple years ago, we are 7 years old as an organization. And I was called to start an organization in Dominica. And I told the persons I am 5 months pregnant and I'm unable to take up that task at the moment. But they kept calling my phone 2-3 weeks and they just kept persistent that I should, because they were told that I need to do it and I am the only one who can do it for them.
Said, okay, I'll try. I sat down and I'm like, how am I going to do this? Picked up my phone and first, look so and so and so and so. But I cannot really do it right now, you know my situation. You can do that. It's you. No, not now. It's human roads. Do that. You can do that. I'll help you. We'll get names. You'll make the calls and we can do that. And within 2 weeks, we had 30-something women sitting right in here at Fort Young Wood. No, it was up at the other location 7 years ago when we started Business and Professional Women Dominica chapter. She was a member, and it doesn't matter what I called Ferdina for. Once I called first, so. Yeah, man, Rose. Her smile captivated everybody. And it doesn't matter what people say about her. At the end of the day, she'd be like, not everybody's going to like me, not everybody's going to hate me. Sometimes it will trouble her, but she knocked it off and she moved on. And last year we decided, you know what? Persons don't get their flowers whilst they are alive. And everybody seems and tend to want to tell people how they feel about them after they hear they've moved on and they say RIP. I sat down with the executive and I said, listen, my heart is to honor women whilst they are alive and not when they're dead. It's going to be a difficult task, but we can do it. We started last year where we honored 30 women and gave them their roses whilst they were alive. And when I called Ferdina, well, we sent emails out to the individuals, and then she called me, Rods, oh, you honoring me? And I'm like, yes. That day when I called you, you helped me to get BPW going in my condition. And she's like, oh my God, I feel so special. And then I called her back again and she's like, so we're doing that for true? I said, yes, please. We're going through it. We can do 30. I said, yes. She said, that's a big number, you know. I said, I know it's a big number, but we can do it because we have so many women. We have so many women that we need to appreciate and to thank and to say, you have done a good job, continue the good work. And I want you to be in the first group of women that we honor. And the time came, we honored the women. The photo that you are looking at that was taken at the event. A few days after, now it was in July, about August, I still have the note on my phone. She messaged me, Rose, every month I go in and post. Girl, I'm feeling so good. I'm feeling so nice the way you appreciate me. Every month I go into post because I need people to understand how important it is to honor women, to honor persons. And the mere fact you're giving roses while they're alive, Rose, that is why I dedicated the whole thing to my father, you know. Because it's my father that make me who I am. It's my father that make you honor me because it's his life and he gave me all what I had. Her last post was in December. Dancing on the 360. Right here. And most of you would have seen that post on Facebook. She was just so elated over that. If it's one thing that I try to do to persons who are close to me is to tell them that you love them. When you have the chance to tell them that you love them. So I make it a point of duty, every now and again, a few people that are close to me just to send and tell them, I love you. Just out of the blue, I love you. Because you never know. And she knew that in spite of Even if we don't talk every day, when we do talk, after our conversation, love you first. Yeah, we roadside, no, love you too. Before we hang up with one. I will miss her. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much, Rhoda. Okay, by way of announcement, we just wanted everybody in here to know that Ferdina's funeral is February 19th, so you can mark your calendars for that, February 19th. So you can, as Isa said, Isa, you got it? All right. Okay. So thank you so much for coming, everyone. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this. I felt, well, let's listen to the death announcement. That you will get that information then. I mean, the reason for giving the dates is that you don't make plans if you want to attend. So February 19th, save that date. Everything else will be under death. Yeah, so yes, so as I said, save the date, February 19th. Thank you. Get home safely, everyone. And if we have anything left in the back, feel free to help yourself before you leave. And we have until 9 p.m., so we have 20 more minutes. Right, Mr. Delwyn? So thanks, thank you. Get home safe, everyone. Much love and take care.